Hi everyone, welcome to Happy Highest You livecast. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I was jumping in the shower after my run, but I wanted to come on here to talk to you guys about the third eye chakra. So for those of you that are new to my page, hello, welcome. I'm Kim Leskovic. I'm an essential oil educator and wellness coach, and I'm really passionate about introducing people as well as empowering them to use essential oils, yoga, meditation, to feel more excited within their day, feel more purposeful, feel more intuitive. That has a lot to do with the third eye chakra. And just helping people to understand themselves better and come back home to themselves in a way that's natural and feels good and that just feels really simple to them. And so I started this live cast this year, and this is episode 19, and we are on our second to last chakra of the 7 chakras. So for those of you that are new to the chakra energy system, chakras are energy centers within our bodies. Let me just fix my flannel really quick. We have 7 main energy centers from our root chakra at the base of our spine all the way up to the crown of our head. There are many more energy centers within our body, but these are like the 7 main ones that are usually talked about in the yoga meditative world. And yeah, so I've been coming on here every week on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. to talk to you guys about chakras for the past 6 days, or 6 Tuesdays. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys about these 2 final ones because they're near and dear to my heart in the sense that I've always had this inner knowing and this connection with divine source, and my intuition, my gut feeling. I always would ask people for advice, but deep down, like really know the answer to what I was seeking, and would really feel when I went against that gut feeling. I would feel sick, or I would feel fatigued, or I would just feel super depressed and sad. So actually I am going to try to share this to my oils group really quick because I forgot to do that. But if you're jumping on, feel free to say hi. And if you find throughout this live cast you're interested in learning more about essential oils, I'm actually sharing this video to my oil group on Facebook called Happy Highest You Oil Tribe. So feel free to hop on over there. I do a couple live videos and daily posts on just information of how I use essential oils and routines and stuff like that, and upcoming programs and events. So check that out. Perfect. Okay. So I shared that. All right, so yeah, I try to keep these little live casts around 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. So tonight is kind of to the point and direct. So our third eye chakra, we have gone over, like I said, our root chakra, which is the I am statement, our sacral chakra, which is I feel, then our solar plexus is to act, our heart is to love, and our throat is I speak. And our third eye is I see, as you could tell from my Instagram post earlier today. And like I said, like I've always had this inner knowing. I've always been able to see the bigger picture, see what I want to do, but not know how I was going to get there, or really the actual how or what that would look like. But I could see the bigger idea, if that makes sense. So these 2 chakras can kind of be in the trendy sense called like woo-woo, or just like that higher power. People might not always understand that yet until you do dive into the soul discovery journey yourself and figure out what that means to you, what it looks like in your life. I grew up in a Catholic school, so I've always been around like the traditional like religious practices of, which is like the practice, not necessarily the spirituality, but I've always had a platform to kind of explore my spirituality in a sense. So if you haven't had that, or you kind of eliminated that from your life because of fear or worry or just a really bad experience, you could definitely have kind of a blocked third eye chakra or a blocked crown. And again, I do want to separate the religion and spirituality. I've come to understand that spirituality is personal for everyone, and it's just a matter of kind of tapping into that and seeing what that looks like for you and what that feels like. And so going into a little bit about the third eye chakra, this one's all about self-reflection and wisdom and connection to our higher self. So I also really loved, I'm someone who, like, one of my strengths is, it's like where you want to be alone and like kind of reflect on your ideas. I think it's called intellect, but I'm not totally sure on that one. But yeah, it's where you kind of need time to yourself to reflect and to dig into your own inner wisdom, to see your direction and what you want to do. So that really like helps me relate to how this might have been a strong point in my life and how this chakra kind of played out growing up. And again, I do want to reiterate that chakras are never fully balanced. They're never fully healed. They can become unbalanced every single day. And so it's just a matter of like knowing these tools that I'll talk about, such as essential oils, yoga, meditation, to really help you, okay, my root chakra is out of balance. What can I do to kind of get that back into balance? And for those of you that are kind of into astrology and doshas and stuff like that, it's kind of like that, where you want to eat this type of foods, like Ayurvedic medicine and health. They talk a lot about like balancing your dosha with what foods you eat and what kind of exercise you like. And so it kind of is like that in a sense, where we work daily on our chakras and what's kind of out of balance. We tune in and we have tools such as the ones I'll talk about to really empower us and to be able to get those blocks figured out and balanced quicker. And so, like I said, this is all about seeing. So it's also about the unseen. So if it's, if you're not really seeing different perspectives and you're stuck in your ways, this is how I can kind of relate, going back into where this might have looked blocked in my life, is growing up in a Catholic school can also have you really one-sided and one perspective and one belief. And so as I like went to college and surrounded myself with different people and got out of my comfort zone and really traveled the world, I went to Italy, and it just changed my perspective and helped me to understand different points of view and work with different kinds of people. And that's what I mean with the unseen, like things you might not have known, but once you see it, it all makes sense and it all kind of connects. And so where this is located, it's located in between our eyebrow points, and it also can be associated with the pineal gland and have to do with like the melatonin in your body. The color of our third eye is indigo, hence the amethyst I'm wearing and the tank top. I don't know if you can tell what color this is. But the element would be light. So really thinking about seeing light, seeing light out of darkness, a new perspective, a new way of looking at things, shining light on maybe things you haven't looked at or things you haven't uncovered from your past or that you kind of need to address and heal. And then seeing beyond the physical world too, like whatever that means to you, what is kind of guiding us in this life, what our purpose is, and seeing beyond what is physically here right now. So setting those visions, setting those goals in your life, and like literally like sitting down and meditating and visualizing that can be really powerful for the third eye chakra. And the more you do that, the more you see things around you, the more you open yourself up to that awareness, the stronger your intuition and inner guidance will be, the more it will be telling you to do certain things and not to do certain things. And so the purpose of this is to develop clarity and intuition and release any repressed emotions that, again, don't have the light shine on them. And also to attain that self-realization of this is who I am, this is what I'm passionate about, and this is my vision for life, this is my mission, these are my goals. So if this is blocked, it can turn up in mostly your mental and emotional states. Obviously the mind-body soul is all connected, but it will really show up in like mental fatigue and just like foggy memory, and your focus is really bad or unbalanced. If your third eye chakra is weak, you might be insensitive and oblivious to like subtleties around you. You can't take a hint, and you're kind of disconnected to what's like actually happening because you're so involved in like what you believe and what you see is true, and not necessarily truth, but like what you believe to be true at the moment. And so I can totally relate to this in my childhood of just having these certain beliefs and only seeing one-sided, and really struggling as I became more aware of myself, did this soul discovery journey of that awareness that there really isn't one way, and everyone's different. Everyone has something to offer. And just that whole right and wrong, like perfectionism idea could really be a weak third eye chakra. And so I just remember specifically an interaction with a family member where we were talking about faith, and I was just so strong in my beliefs. And looking back, I was totally blocking whatever they even had to say. I wasn't in the moment. I was like frustrated and in my own kind of world. And so that's just like one example. But if you're really not in the present moment with a lot of things, that can have to do with seeing the bigger picture around you and what you have to offer, like your interactions. And if your chakra is excessive, then you could be paranoid. You might have nightmares. You might feel bombarded with like psychic stimuli, and it might be difficult to see straight. You might have like sleep insomnia. You're just like all in your head. You just have all these thoughts, and they're like kind of made up, maybe not. But it can also manifest in physical. If we think about our third eye chakra in between our eyebrow point, it can manifest in headaches. So I've found that when I'm overstimulated, when I'm diving too much into some of this like psychic power and not getting grounded, like balancing it all out, then like a headache and tension and just like my upper chakras are kind of out of whack if I'm not rooting down through my feet and really getting grounded in my other areas. So I definitely experienced headaches growing up and can totally see how that over stimuli and stress within like a work environment or school or taking in too much information. It can even be things you're passionate about, like just taking too much information in and not getting it out through your solar plexus and taking action and moving your body and getting into nature. And so releasing that a little bit. So a balanced third eye chakra can look like you have like no attachment to like material things, and you're open to spiritual guidance. You are a master of yourself, you're disciplined, and you're not afraid of death. So you're really just, you know you're here for a reason. You know there's a vision, there's a purpose, there's an end, and there's a reason for all of that. And so it's hard to explain, but I definitely can relate to this when I was like recently traveling on a plane, and I was, there's that fear of coming from flying. And obviously I was like, well, if this crashes, like, I don't know, just some things were like popping in my head of like what I would do, who I want to talk to. But the last thing that popped into my head was I am like truly okay with dying. Like I am actually truly happy. I have so much to be grateful for. I can see the impact that I've made. I can see just the point of life and love and connection. And I was connected with a higher power that just helped me to feel safe and guided, that I wasn't scared for it to be over, because I knew that I just had that trust, and I could see that this wasn't all for waste, if that can kind of make sense to you. But yeah, so how you can strengthen this is meditation, is visualizing, but getting still enough to allow yourself to clear that clutter, clear those negative thoughts, maybe just the overwhelm of thoughts and everything you have to do. I know sometimes I'll just like, if you are new to meditation, you can check out Headspace or guided meditations. But I've got to the point where I can just like sit in stillness, ask a question, let those thoughts just leave, and wait for an answer, or wait for something to see, like a visual, an image, a person. So it can be really powerful the more you strengthen that. And I was not at the level I am now when I started. It takes time, and that's why it's a practice, but it's really cool when you start to become more aware and just trust yourself and trust that that's what you're seeing and that's what you are being guided to. So another way this can pop up in your life is if you've ever seen angel numbers, or just like repetitive numbers in general, or repetitive signs. Like today, I literally saw a white butterfly, which I've been seeing a white butterfly, I think, for the past like 7 days. And so I was like looking it up, like, what does this mean? And at first I was kind of just like, take the message for what it is. And same with like angel cards or numbers. But now the more that I see things manifest from these messages, and the more they like show up in my life, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, it just strengthens that vision. It strengthens that knowing. When you can see it form into your life, when you start to see it. But you have to like see it first, before you can believe it. And then you also have to like believe it to see it. It's hard. It's a two-way street, but, it's so reassuring when you do see those numbers and you see those angel signs, and, just repetitive numbers or repetitive things. I know when so I do love to pray, and I will pray like for guidance on my next steps. I know I did that with unemployment. I was like, please just show me the right direction. I'm not feeling confident in these things I'm applying to. I want to do something else. Please just show me that there's something else out there. And just like signs would show themselves. Like I remember walking out of my nanny house and picking up this little owl like figurine that I'm like, why would that be on the ground at this point, when my spirit animal is an owl too, as well as a whale. I have two, I think. But yeah, it's just little things like that where you can question it, but you're also like, if it makes sense, if it's in line with what I'm wanting, what I believe, and it feels good, then it definitely is something you're supposed to be seeing. And it will keep showing up in your life if you do ignore it, in the form of like a headache, or, you know, it's just telling you that you need to check in with your body and check in with your mind and pay attention to what it is life's trying to show you. And so yeah, it has a lot to do with like memories and dreams. And so if you have like strong, vivid dreams, I'm like such a heavy sleeper that I haven't done this in a while because I can't remember my dreams right when I wake up. But if you like wake up and you really like are questioning your dream, or you've had a dream that you think like, what does this mean in my life? Why am I still dreaming about this person, this thing, this experience? Like journal it out, like write down what you dreamed about and what that could mean, or what that could be trying to tell you, how it's making you feel, and just try to see from that dream and that memory, how that can be a lesson for you. So I know sometimes people like don't really pay attention to their dreams, and then they keep having them, and then they're kind of freaked out. And it's just a matter of being open to it and what it can teach you, and what it can do for your life. And so for me, it's not necessarily dreams, but it's angel numbers. And I kept avoiding, and I kept avoiding. And now I'm like, okay, now that I see them, I look it up, I take the message in, and I just move on. Like I'm like, okay. Or sometimes if I have seen the number before and I know what it already means, I'm like, okay, thank you, angels. And I just keep going. Like I take a moment for that gratitude and to acknowledge that I'm seeing things I want to be seeing. So yeah, it's just the training of the mind. And I did want to mention, I took some notes. So the reason I am talking about these chakras is because I got started with essential oils and yoga and meditation through college, but I especially got into the chakras and essential oils when I signed up for a Zen Babe chakra course with my mentor, Alicia Leadham. And I am just reflecting on some of my notes I took 2 years ago, but I've taken this course twice. She runs it once a year, and she's actually opening it up July 22nd. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. It's going to be so fun to take it as like a whole group, and it's just growing, and there's so much more knowledge that we can offer. But I took notes, and I said it was a little summary of the third eye and what I was kind of experiencing that week. And it says, I've learned that love is patient. I am able to make and see connections. I don't like feeling bad, but it helps to see the bigger picture. So sometimes if we have a bad thing that shows up in our lives, it's taking a look at that and how can we see this as an opportunity or a period of growth or a period of realization that this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, or this is why I love this person, or this is why I need to help them, etc. And I also wrote down, I want to visualize my life, see it become reality. I want to live with purpose, intention, happiness, love, and fun. So that was kind of my way of putting out there what I do want to start to see, of what I do want to see in my life and how I'm going to get there with that visualization. So I did want to kind of just share that little experience and what that kind of meant to me working through that chakra and what that looked like that time. But then to go over some tools for you guys and how you can practice experimenting with your third eye chakra and strengthening it. The first one, I'm going to get a sip of water really quick. The first thing that I'll talk about is essential oils. So clary sage is the oil of vision and clarity. And I can read through that really quickly. Clary sage is a flower, and it assists individuals in changing perceptions. It gives courage to see the truth. It's one of the finest oils for the brow chakra, so literally specifically for this chakra, which is really cool. And it helps people to see their limiting beliefs and what's holding them back, and encourages us to remain open to new ideas, new perspectives, and opens the soul to new experiences and opportunities. It helps open those creative channels and clear creative blocks. It eliminates distractions from the mind. And it also helps us open us up to that dream world, like I said, our ability to see what's possible in life, as well as like what we can learn from our dreams. It increases your ability to visualize and imagine new possibilities. It teaches the spirit how to use its divinely given gifts and is especially helpful in clarifying spiritual vision. And it invites individuals to expand their vision and accept the reality of the spiritual world. So using clary sage specifically, I have used it in the bath. I've also used it in the diffuser while like journaling out my like full moon rituals or new moon rituals and setting goals. But I did have a pretty profound experience using geranium and clary sage in the bath together. And so I want to share with you what clary sage was able to like help me reflect on. Again, I use unscented Epsom salts. I'll put a couple drops of clary sage on the Epsom salts, dump them into the bath. And sometimes I'll listen to music, sometimes I'll listen to podcasts, Audible, watch Netflix. But recently and lately, I've just really loved just the silence. We don't get enough of that in our lives. And I've really loved just letting myself be and using oils intentionally for how I want to feel and what I want to get out of that bath. So for this time, I wanted to feel love and trust. I wanted to feel that clarity and vision and my next steps of what I was supposed to do, because I was feeling stuck. I was feeling low. And it was an incredible experience. And so I used clary sage, and after my bath, I literally went and looked up what those oils were for, and it totally aligned. Oil of clarity and vision. And then I jotted down some notes of like what happened in the bath. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And yeah, so I wrote down what clary sage did, which I already told you guys. But then I also wrote down like when I started to remember my higher self, like that vision, that higher being, what I was here to do, and just like that woman, that person I wanted to be. even though I didn't know how that was going to look, what kind of job, what kind of relationship, what kind of life I would live. I just knew in my heart of, this is the person I want to be. This is the feeling. This is the health and the lifestyle that I want to live. Like, I wanted to be a leader. And so I jotted down, I was like, I remember beginning this journey of remembering who I am after graduating in 2016. I met her on my yoga mat. I continued to go to that mat to remember my truth, to connect and love her. I gained clarity, peace, and surrender from my mat, and surrender to a greater power. I met her on a deeper level when I took the 7-week chakra cleanse. I faced myself in the mirror. I got to know her. I repeated affirmations. I let her know she was safe. I told her she was beautiful. I met her in the spring of 2017 during a 30-day program of discovering and remembering myself and that I was worth it. I rolled oils on my meridian points. I let the aromatic topical uses bring up pains, bring up concerns, fears to the surface, and I felt them and I put them, and I put some to them and I heard her. So just this experience of like using these tools and getting to know myself and hearing that higher self, I just think that's incredible, and I wanted to share that with you guys. But it says I worked with her to heal. I feel that I uncovered all of myself. I met her as I drove home from Chicago after yoga teacher training, a clear vision of what I was here to do, words of joy, excitement, welcome, and fulfillment. So yeah, she is me and I am her. And I just wrote that little letter to myself after that bath. And your experience doesn't have to look like mine, but I wanted to share that with you because it's insane how powerful essential oils are when you can associate them with an intention and when you can use them with these self-love practices of getting into the bath, of literally tuning into your emotions and asking yourself, what do I need to hear? And then going out of the bath and writing down the answer, because it's inside of you. You have the answers. You just have to get still and listen. And so I think that's powerful. I love rereading that stuff. So I hope it gave you some inspiration and kind of showed you what these can do. But then the other blend for your third eye chakra is Peace Reassuring Blend. So Peace has vetiver root, a very grounding oil, lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, and spearmint. So the fact it has frankincense, the oil of truth, clary sage, the oil of clarity and vision in it, and then just those really grounding, relaxing oils, allowing you to relax, get rid of all that stress, get rid of all those like thoughts that are overwhelming you, and just to be rooted and able to tap into that clarity and vision. Peace was actually my first love out of the emotional aromatherapy kit. And I can smell it and literally go back to that time of healing and transformation. I used this in my relationships as I was going through the soul discovery to ground myself, to come back home to myself in case I was getting triggered or I was getting confused of why I was doing something and why I was doing this for myself, like that lack of worth mentality. I'd grab my piece, I would go to the bathroom, and I'd literally like smell it from the bottle and recite the mantra, peace starts with me. And so it's really important as you start these rituals and as you're diving into something new to really protect your energy and to really have something like an essential oil to really ground you and to bring you peace and to bring you back to love. Sorry, my Instagram battery is going to die pretty soon, so I will finish up. But yeah, oils are just home for me, and so is yoga, and so is meditation, and just all of these aspects. So I want them to be home for you guys. I want you to feel like you have safe tools and safe places to speak your heart, to dive into your dreams, to feel loved, and to feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourselves, because that's what these things have given me. I apologize for the sirens. And then I wanted to talk to you guys about crystals in a yoga pose, because that's what I've been doing with the other chakra videos. So the crystal that I actually received from my chakra kit is called, what was it called again? Sorry, I think it's called Sodalite. Here, right here. Yes, so it's called Sodalite. It's blue or indigo. I lost my Facebook. Okay. Yeah, so it's like a blue color. And again, I love like using my crystals for meditation. You could literally like lay down and meditate with this on any of these crystals on your third eye. And I've just strengthened this so much that it literally like will pulse when I like take this off of my third eye, which is really cool. And then the other one, my mom got me this one, and it's called Lapis Lazuli. And so it says, at home, lapis brings contentment and a strong sense of family loyalty. At work, it can help you gain a promotion, maintain your integrity, and inspire the trust of others. Lapis lazuli awakens the third eye and enhances your ability to visualize and receive visual guidance or information. It enhances your meditative journeys and facilitates past and alternate life viewing. It is a stone of clairvoyance and precognition, so literally perfect for the third eye. And it's like a blue indigo color too, which is cool. And then I've been really drawn like to the crystal. I'm pretty sure this is amethyst. This was like my first crystal. I got it in Colorado. And then it actually chipped and I put super glue on it. And so I hope it still has like healing powers. If you're like a crystal junkie, please let me know. I'm sure it's still okay. And I'm going to pretend that it is. But yeah. And so I got amethyst in my crystal chakra bundle too. So this one is actually like really common for the crown chakra, which is what I'm going to talk about next week, next Tuesday, same time, 7:30. But this one can also be used for your third eye because it has a lot to do with your intuition and tapping into that inner knowing and helping you to see and be clairvoyant like the other ones. And so funny story with this one, I was actually like downtown Cedar Rapids, for those of you that are there at Nubo, it's a little like market, and I asked this crystal, it's like a pendulum, so you like ask it, you say show me yes, and then you say show me no. Okay, so for yes it went forward and back, and then for no it went side to side. And I asked if it wanted to come home with me because I'm always just drawn to the color purple. It's in my branding. It's just been a color that I've always loved. And so to see it associated with the chakras and that higher knowing, that intuition, that psychic ability, and just being very in tune with wisdom and connecting things and connecting signs has just really made sense of why I love that color. And so, yeah, I took it home and I love, that's probably my favorite crystal if I had to choose a favorite, amethyst. So again, that one is just great. It's a very calming stone. It's very great for like promoting balance and peace. And it also helps eliminate like impatience. And a yoga pose to kind of go over for you guys is we always start our yoga practice usually unless we're like seated, we usually start in a child's pose. And so oftentimes we'll bring our forehead to our mat, we'll extend our arms. And I love the cue. I just saw 3, yeah, on my computer, sorry. But we'll come to that child pose, and then you'll often hear maybe like massage your third eye onto your mat. And so basically what that means is they're telling you to massage your forehead on the mat. Or if they say forehead, you can kind of visualize that chakra point. Now taking this into your yoga practice, you can visualize that being the third eye chakra and opening your awareness up, opening up what it is you can see, what you're here to learn for this yoga practice. So any really poses that have your forehead resting on your mat, or looking up to the sky too, and just balancing poses. I found that like finding a drishti, which is like a focal point in front of you, like a circle type shape, I've just been really good at like expanding that awareness of that circle the more I practice it. in my balancing posture. So you guys should try that as well. Like if you're in tree or if you're in some type of balancing, really try to like notice what you're looking at and like gain a perspective on that, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just a couple ways you can explore your third eye chakra. And I hope you learned a couple new tips. If you're a yogi or if you're into essential oils, I hope you gained something from the other aspects. And if you are interested in taking the chakra course, we're starting as a tribe July 22nd, and it's open for enrollment. So please reach out. You can get started with the emotional aromatherapy kit is the one I got started with. It comes with 6 blends, a Lumo diffuser, which is it's white and it has like a brown base. It's super pretty, and it has a nighttime feature where it goes on and off every 5 minutes, which is super nice. So yeah, I didn't have that diffuser option when I first got started, so I'm in love with it. So yeah, July 22nd, Zen Babe Chakra Cleanse. It's a 7-week digital journey into like a deep dive into your chakras and really journaling about what it is that's blocking you, what's coming up, and how you can work to heal that and how you can work to realign. And by the end of it, there's just going to be so many transformations, so much healing in your relationships, and so much coming home to yourself and really finding that true love that you're looking for. And also on top of that, I just released a course. If you go to my Instagram, it's in my Facebook page actually. It's called Welcome Home. It's a journey into remembering. And I'm so in love with it. It's so great. It includes essential oils, supplements, bath rituals. It has a yoga sequence that I did outside, a higher self meditation. And so it has 8 lessons within it. And it really is just welcome home. It's a way to come home to yourself. It's a way to come home to your body, your mind, your soul, and really understand yourself better. That's what I was looking for when I got started with essential oils. That's what I was looking for when I graduated. I did not know my purpose. I did not really know myself. I had ideas of what I could look like or what my career could be, but it wasn't true to me. And I found that, and I want to share that opportunity with other people that are out there searching for these tools, that are out there searching for a purpose, because I know the chakra course and my Welcome Home course can do amazing things. So if you're interested, please reach out. I would love to get these oils into your home, and I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next week for our last chakra, the crown chakra at the top of our head. All right, bye.